It's August in Paris et il n'y a personne, there is nobody. I'm French, I live here, it's my 4th summer in Paris, so these 7 things nobody tells you. Allez, on y va. The thing is, why does everything close? First thing, in France, avoir 25-35 jours de vacances is really normal. It's not a luxury, it's the law. Companies, small businesses, entire agencies, they close. And in some places, staff are actually required to take some time off during August as it's a less busy month. Even some pharmacies, they rotate closures like between neighborhoods, which can actually be quite far. C'est tout un système, it's a whole system. And the boulangerie. For the people that are staying in Paris and still working, the boulangerie is the biggest issue. You can see actually the boulangerie with different signs on their doors saying fermeture annuelle, which is the annual closure, and then it puts the dates. Most of the time it reopens, I would say, the last day of August or the first week of September. My advice is if you're commuting far to get something or to go to a certain bakery, make sure that you check online. And I think now you can ask AI as well if it's open or not. Ça m'est déjà arrivé, it already happened to me to go somewhere and then to realize, oh mince, c'est fermé. Never again, plus jamais. There are 2 sides, les Aoûtiens or les Juilletistes. There's a cultural divide that we don't really hear talking about unless if you actually live in France. Les Juilletistes are the ones who take holidays in July, and les Aoûtiens, they're the ones who take the holidays in August. This goes back to the 1960s, and they probably did this so that the whole country did not just shut down during this time period. There would be some people in July and some people in August, but concerning Paris, most of the people, they actually leave on holiday during le mois d'août. A calmer Paris with everything closed, what good does that bring? To be honest, pour moi, it's actually my favorite time of the summer. Paris est plus calme. Il y a beaucoup moins de voitures. There are less cars. Most Parisians have left. You can even see it on the shutters that are all closed around me. The metro is much emptier too. Although lately it hasn't affected me too much because in July I actually did this challenge where I tried to bike every single day. I almost did every single day. And honnêtement, ça a changé ma vie. I want to be a little bit more active, physically active in my life. If you have tips about doing that, let me know in the comments. And now that I'm still biking in August, I notice like places and streets that I've walked to 100 times, but usually there's quite a lot of people since Parisian streets are quite narrow, quite small. And now, soudainement, il n'y a plus personne. Il n'y a vraiment pas un chat. The museums, they actually have quite a lot of space. For example, I recently went to Musée d'Orsay and usually it's super packed. I don't know about the Louvre. I'm guessing it's still a lot of people because it's the most visited museum in the world. But for the other smaller museums in Paris, il y a beaucoup moins de monde. So I really recommend you, if there's an expo that you've been wanting to see, va au musée. Tant qu'il y a moins de monde. The real August luxuries. August is actually a great month to test new food addresses parce qu'il n'y a pas grand monde. There are not that many people. The impossible brunch spots, the places that you've been wanting to go but you see a queue. One of my favorite things, which is already something that I used to do in Shanghai where I used to live, is go on rooftops. So there are rooftop bars and rooftop restaurants and it's such a beautiful place to watch the sunset. Of course, in Paris, they're not as high, but it's still very beautiful. I love the rooftops that are around Trocadero area. And you can see the Eiffel Tower and the monuments of Paris like turning gold slowly. C'est très très beau. Même dans les jardins, even in the gardens, Jardin des Tuileries, where the statues catch the light and you can see the trees. C'est vraiment trop beau. I try to include these spots in my newsletter, and my newsletter, you can have access to it with the link in the description if you want to know more spots. Cinéma et la musique. L'été à Paris, la culture moves outside. There are outdoor cinemas in the most incredible places. I did not know this when I first arrived to Paris. There are beautiful cinema outdoor spots. Maybe some of you saw on my Instagram that I also went to le Musée de l'Air et de l'Espace that has cinema screenings. Most of these places, they only have 3 or 4 screenings per summer. So I would advise to sign up in advance. It's just so crazy for me to imagine watching like a classic French movie or a classic Hollywood movie onto these monuments and really being inside history and feeling the French culture. For me, it's one of the best parts of the summer. C'est le cinéma en plein air et la musique live. So definitely outdoor cinemas and live music. La musique is partout, is everywhere. There are outdoor venues that are open in the summer which are playing live music. There's the Paris Jazz Festival au Parc Floral. There are festivals as well. Even just walking along the quai, you might stumble onto something, onto a musician that is just practicing an instrument. I know that when I walk Meimei in the evenings, sometimes I can hear someone practice the trumpet or the guitar. Very lovely, c'est trop beau. J'adore écouter de la musique tout le temps, all the time, mais surtout en été, especially in summer. And I've actually made a French summer playlist, which is going to be accessible in my next newsletter. So if you want to join it, the link is in the description. Some of the articles are paid, some of them are free, but make sure to join it so you don't miss the summer playlist, la playlist de cet été. Who are some of your favorite French singing artists? Because I personally, j'en connais beaucoup. I know a lot, but I always love discovering classics or discovering new ones. So if you know any cool French music that I can listen to cet été, this summer, write them below and I'll have a listen. Of course, not everyone completely stops working. There are still a lot of people that are working in jobs related to tourism, to travel, and also entrepreneurs like me. We don't stop working. But there is one day that we do, c'est la journée de l'Assomption. It's a very serious public holiday that everyone absolutely takes off. Malheureusement, cette année, c'est un samedi, it's a Saturday, but it will still be a slower day, and usually it falls on a weekday, so people are very happy to have a day off in the middle of the month. Voila, August in Paris, that's what it actually is. Half the city disappears, and actually if you walk around, you'll probably see a lot of shutters that are closed, and you'll see the papers in front of the businesses, the boulangerie, the shops that say fermeture annuelle, de retour en vacances à partir de, starting from. Most of the time, I would say, c'est le 29 août. It's the 29th, 30th of August. But everyone online always says that everything is completely closed and that there's nothing to do in the month of August. I must disagree because, as I mentioned, there are quite a few things that you can do and there are still things that are open. And also, I think Paris is just really that city where you don't constantly have to be inside making plans. Just walking in the city already is something so amazing that you can do. You can have an afternoon au musée, and then after that you can go just completely walk around through the gardens and by the Seine, and at the end of the day for the sunset you can buy a few things in a grocery store, dans une supérette. You can buy une baguette, du fromage, a bottle, a few snacks, and you can just have it by the Seine, you know, as a picnic and just observe the views and people watch. That's what we Parisians love to do at the end of the day. Nothing too expensive, nothing too fancy, but just the fact that we live dans cette magnifique ville, in this beautiful city that I still can't believe. I'm so grateful to be spending my 4th summer here and to be able to show you the real side of the city. Petite mémé! So don't forget, the Paris summer playlist is coming in my next newsletter. Sign up in the description and tell me in the comments who is your favorite French singing artist. I really want to know. And we'll continue to share songs on here and on Instagram as well. I hope you're also spending a lovely summer. I'm super excited to say that most likely the next video will not be in this apartment. It will be outside, because as much as I love talking to you from here, I also love showing you a different side of Paris, a different side of France. I did exactly the same thing last summer. I'll also link my best day trips from Paris in the description. I hope to see you in the very next video avec Petite Mémé. Merci beaucoup et à bientôt!